Alrighty. Alright. So this is gonna be the first of the YuBearBrew podcast. We're gonna do a lot more like these, and it's gonna be really great. I wanted to talk about subjects that are, that pop up. Well, there'll probably be a couple podcasts in the future where we're just vibe out. We'll just let the subjects come to us or the viewers. But this one, particularly due to recent events and some stuff, I'll talk about that later. That I definitely wanted to talk about GameStop, and today we're joined by we got Brandon right here, Brandon. How many years have you worked at GameStop?
For me, it's been so I actually just looked on my LinkedIn, and it was four years in 1 month exactly.
Mm-hmm. What you,
Yeah.
Nikki?
4.5 years.
4.5 years, and I'm also looking at my LinkedIn as well. 5 months and 5 years and 6 months. Um, since that I worked at GameStop. That I finally got released at. Technically, at the official date, it was 5 months, 6 months. Even though a couple of those months I wasn't even actually working.
We were just
Uh,
at AFK.
Yeah. Due to the fact COVID and everything. So we got people in this chat right now, 4+ years ago at GameStop, and we're just wanted to talk about how crappy this company honestly is. So as of right now, let's see. Couple recent events. All right. So the thing is that we all came from our own GameStop, the one here in Lowell, and
Hey man,
kind of
don't
like
expose.
it's okay, I don't care. So we all met through there. I've personally I started off in the GameStop in Houston with a couple of friends. The thing is that about GameStop is that you meet a lot of good people at GameStop. You some people who become your lifelong friends and stuff like that. I met some friends I'm still friends with for the past 5 years. I've lived in Texas. And how about you, Brandon? What about your experience here?
Yeah, so I was looking for a job like mid like right at the end of high school, like and then start of college, and something just part time in anything that related to games. I obviously was in high interest in, and I saw a GameStop new one was opening in Lowell, and that's when they hired the first staff for that area, and Nikki and I were part of the first wave of people,
First
like
generation.
first generation, yeah. And I was like, well, okay, whatever, I could use some of my gaming knowledge in, and that'd be great, help customers out, and it'd be okay. I heard some bad things, and I don't agree with everything they do, but I'd give it a shot. And since it's a new store, a fresh start, what could go wrong? Yeah, you want to expand on anything, Nikki? There?
Um, I mean, I don't think expand for your part, but I personally was the same way. Like I was fresh out of high school and going to school and coming back home. Yeah, I could use some money to do some stuff, and I saw GameStop, and I got hired on a whim.
Yeah, I also I was actually still in high school as well. I was a junior when I
You, wait,
so
yeah.
I was hired at the age of 16 because this is literally right before they changed the policy where you can only be 18 to work there. So I was really cutting it close for the past 2 years. After that, funny you bring that up. So it was weird because it also was really hard at the very beginning because I was trying to balance school and work for me for the first time, because this is the first time I've had a company job before. I've always worked at my uncle's gym. So working at GameStop, it was like my first job, and the first job being GameStop, which is cool, and I thought it was a great achievement for myself back in the day, because again, obviously you want to work in the thing that you're really passionate about, and obviously we were all passionate about video games, so that's why we all chose GameStop to be our first venture. Little did we know that. I mean, there are good things that came out of the GameStop. Like I don't lie about that, but the company itself wasn't like the best thing to work with, and we'll get back to that in a second. One thing, one thing I really want to talk about is the actually speaking of like is pay. If you're unless you're assistant manager or manager, you're not gonna get paid full. You're not gonna get the full 40 hours of like work that standard jobs have. You're basically part time, even though that anything like so there are a couple ranks into to GameStop. So there's the GAs, which is like the grunts, pretty much like the standard part time employees. So game advisors is what they're called. Then you have the supervisor game advisors, and you have the assistant managers and the managers. So supervisor game advisors, or SGAs, what they call them, have keys to the store. They can open the store, they close the store, they can work by themselves. Assistant, I don't need to speak, and managers. So all of us here have been SGAs. We've been key holders of the store, so we had a lot of responsibility. And for these stores, I've personally been assistant manager for a short period of time, so I can still put that on my fucking resume. Because Brandon and Nikki here have been SGAs for a couple years, and we've had our shared experiences of responsibilities for the store that we had to work at. And I have to admit that the store that we did work at was pretty good. It was like, compared to like a lot of GameStop, it wasn't like, it was actually really functionable, and I think we have to owe Ryan about that, and we all like really worked well together compared to a lot of other GameStops. So it was a great atmosphere that we created, but I'll talk that in a bit. All right, does anyone want to?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree in terms of like how our store was brought up, and like our teamwork and like our morals. We fall behind. Also thinking back to Ryan, like, it made us a good team, and that was some part of that was enjoyable, but it just also came down to the job itself, the customers, and working part-time is like, it ain't the greatest thing in the world. But yeah, in terms of pay, I got a raise like a couple times, so I was getting paid a little bit over minimum wage even after they bumped it up en masse. So it was enough for me to get by and like do whatever I want over the weekend. And like, I actually paid off my student loans, so I saved a lot, and definitely focused on that. So I can't say GameStop didn't contribute, and I can't say it didn't contribute in any way to that, because obviously that was my income at the time. So I was able to achieve that and get a PC and stream a lot more. So pay wasn't the best, but it comes down to saving and what you want to do with it, and I tried to make it worth for myself.
All right, Nikki.
Oh, I think from then to now was actually very different. I was very stupid and oblivious to everything and anything, and I was like, "Yo, money, let's spend it." And I bought so much stupid shit growing up, but now I know more, of course. But I think the pay actually wasn't that bad. I think comparatively, being an SGA was just a glorified assistant, but with like more responsibility and like the same weight, but without the pay, which actually sucks.
Yeah, that was another thing as well. Yeah, you want to continue on that?
Yeah, honestly, like and like the amount of time and length like I worked there was like insane. I just wish I got paid more, but I didn't. They did introduce like this new way where it's like if you get more trade-ins, you can get like a payout or something, like commission. But like even then, it's split between your manager, the assistant manager, and then you. And it's just like it doesn't go as far as it would normally be.
Yeah. So actually, the thing is that like my standard job. Okay, in terms of pay, as being a GA, you're going to be paid the least amount of money. Like whatever the state's minimum, you're going to be paid that. And that's how GameStop is, which is it's fair because a lot of other places do that. I mean, it's a minimum for a reason, so I don't blame them. But once you go to the key holder, where you're a little bit more responsible, you only get like pretty much like $1 a raise, and then
Yeah.
SGA is pretty much another dollar raise after that, and then managers is like $2 or $3 after that. So it's like it's not a lot, and it's really sucks. Is like the thing is that my job right now is kind of standard, and I'm working at the equivalent of a GA's level in terms of like superiority and
Seniority.
yeah, seniority in terms of like level, like. But the thing is that like the thing is that my company is we're pretty much the lifeblood of the company, but the GameStop doesn't realize that, even though that it's a big thing about GameStop. We're definitely the lifeblood of the company. It's just it's awful. I'm gonna speak that in a bit. But yeah, the pay is awful. It's another thing is that hours is also very, very so. Yes, granted, saving is a great thing, but like also trying to get GameStop as an income is awful. Because the thing is that like variable hours is not consistent, and it is actually one of the things that made me quit really fast.
So, sorry.
Go ahead.
I think compared to all of us, I was the only one who didn't have variable hours. I was thrown and pushed everywhere around to other stores.
I want to go back to what you said, Nikki, actually, a little bit,
What's up?
just retracting how you mentioned, when you're a kid, you didn't think about too much and you kind of just want to spend money. Yeah, I was like that way too. I'm not perfect. Yeah, I had some goals later on in life, and there's things I wanted to save up and spend for, but working at GameStop, especially if you're interested in games, you're going to buy games. Like, don't lie to yourself.
100%.
I bought games literally like every month. Any new game, any new title, I picked it up, either trade towards it, which saved a nice okay amount, or if you used that in combination with your discount, boom, you're just saving a bit more, and that was nice too. So we got games at a discount, and that was great. But crap, where were we going? You said something. Oh yeah, I also wanted to toss some respect over to Nikki, because like you said, you were tossed around from a couple different stores. Mad respect to you, because stores were always looking for people. Like, they needed help because they were like, people always call out, or like they get swamped, stuff like that, and they needed bodies, and Nikki was that guy. So tossing respect to you.
Right. I feel the same way. I definitely agree. I learned one thing. The biggest lesson was don't work where you want to spend your money, because that's you work and then you dump your entire paycheck into that place because of your discount, and it's just like it's just not a good feeling.
Yeah, it wasn't really a good thing that most of my paycheck was going back to the company that I was working for.
You needed some self-discipline. Let's be real.
It was really hard to have self-discipline. It was really hard to have self-discipline when it comes to buying stuff you wanted at GameStop. Especially with the pay you're getting, it's not that great. And trying to use GameStop as a form of like income wasn't great as well. Basically, if you're over the age of... The thing is that it's really hard. So the GameStop looks for people that are the age of 18 to like 20. But the thing is that like with this day and age, that time of like 18, 20 is not a good income. So like unless you are assistant manager or manager, honestly you're just scraping by because the pay is so low. I get paid way consistently weekly, as well as like with a higher pay with consistent hours. I always have 40 hours a week. If I don't have 40 hours a week, I'm being paid for the holidays I'm working. I have off, or I have this thing. The amount of time and effort that the three of us, even as queue holders of SGAs, we're not even assistants at this point. Keep in mind, the amount of effort that we put in for the GameStop is ridiculous, and the output we got was questionable in terms of like it was questionable in terms of like what we got as a reward, because what we try to get awarded rewarded in is, or what we seeked for a reward was either like recognition or yeah, pretty much just recognition or just like self you know self redeem. I don't like something to make ourselves feel better, basically. But it wasn't pretty much like too rewarding because the company doesn't really make it an incentive to like make it feel good that you're doing this, but they demanded out of you so much. Just recently they just added the commission thing, which is like long overdue, way long overdue, and it's a nice incentive for employees now to actually try even harder. But it sucks. Does anyone have input?
Yeah, actually, I feel like I disagree. Compared to me and Brandon to you, Devin, like actually the pay wasn't as bad, I think.
I think it was
because me
go
and
ahead.
yeah, me and Brandon actually just like we lived with our parents. I think you actually
Yeah.
had you had like a story. You had a struggling life. Like
Yeah, I
you
had
came from
a.
Texas,
Mhm.
and like your mom like made you pay rent and stuff, and our parents were like I guess slightly nicer than yours. So yeah, living situation was very different.
Yeah, I had to pay rent. I had to pay rent each month. That's because that's how my parents are, and I was sleeping on the couch for God knows how long.
Yeah.
For I don't want to talk about it, but I slept on the couch for a couple of years, and I've been paying a lot. But it was a thank you, because I felt the need to do something like that because I felt guilty as well because I basically dropped on her for just for that, and it was my fault honestly, and I should have moved out sooner. But it was just like it was really hard to do so, especially with GameStop income. Like the income that I have now, it's extremely stable, and it's consistent. Where like for me, it was just like it was very scary trying to think about like how. That's why I tried to get a assistant manager so bad because I want consistency. But it was like really scary for me to think about like if I were to ever get my own place because I won't have enough money for this and that. Like I don't even have enough money for rent. How the fuck am I gonna would already be able to even support myself? And it was I don't mean like rent for my mom because that was easy because I always pay my shit early, or save money for that. But when it comes to how much I was getting paid, it was just very scary and just like think about like how the fuck am I actually going to support myself? Then I realized that people people don't get paid this much. A good indication of like what I mean by like paid is like it was a really really embarrassing moment, but granted it was minimum wage still. At high school, these military guys came by and they were talking about how much we were getting paid, and I was literally the person who was getting paid the least. I was getting literally scrap minimum, and everyone else, from people working in Chick-fil-A or Market Basket, or not Market Basket but whatever was it the HEB is called it's called HEB over there at the grocery store basically. And how much they were getting paid compared to what I was getting paid, it was just like embarrassing. But granted, I had something over them that all of them didn't, which is going for a job I like, which was video games and stuff like that, being surrounded by video games. So none of them really had that, and that's what my reward is. But it's a horrible mindset to think about. It's just like you don't. So the thing is that like, yes, you want to enjoy what you do, and finding video games is that, but if that's at the sacrifice of your well-being or financial success, it's not worth it, honestly. And
Yeah,
for the past,
definitely not.
for the past 5 years, it's definitely not worth it. Just because you're doing something, the thing is that like, if you're really passionate about something, if you're really, really striving for something, and you think that the job is gonna help you, it's not. And it's also, it was a good thing to have those things separately. Having coworkers who are interested in the same thing is great, but like, if your whole work environment is games, and then you go home and you play video games, it doesn't want to make you want to play video games. A good example is that a lot of the store managers don't actually play video games most of the time. because they're so busy with work and stuff like that. And I've noticed this with a lot of store managers.
You'd be surprised on that.
Yeah. So it's like a thing. It's just like, damn, I'm surrounded by video games. I just don't want to play video games right now. For me, it was different because we were all working part time, so there we had a lot of days off.
Yeah. For me personally, I knew from the start I'm not gonna stay at this company for long until like, oh, the 4 years hit, and I'm like, oh, done with school. I'm like, all right, I need to get out of here because this is not what I want at all. Like, I know if I plateau at a job, if like I've done everything I can and I could at the time working there, and like I feel like I'm no longer growing, like personally. So that's when I decided to leave, and I found a new job, and it's a lot better. But I contribute to GameStop in allowing me to grow in a lot of personal skills, which helped with me socially, because you're just forced to interact with customers in a system like when they walk through the door. And a lot of stores actually, you'd be surprised at a lot of stores not greeting their customers and their workers, just like standing behind the register, just hanging out. And some of us would get flack for that too. Like, we're not perfect, but like our store actually really prioritized just greeting customers, helping them right away, and if they didn't need help, kind of just back off. Yeah, we had to like kind of push sales in their face, but we just had to ask that question. You know what I mean?
I definitely agree. Like, some stores wouldn't ask the question because they don't want to bother the customer. But if you ask it real quick and like you get the social cue of, no, I don't want to talk about this, get away from me, and then you just like move on. Just talk with them, bring them out, and then let them get out of the store, kind of deal. But I also I feel the opposite way with Brandon. I was sipping the GameStop juice. I was like, I'm all for it. I want to be here. Hell yeah. But I realized after taking the sip, I'm like, yo, this is actually bad. Because I just left my original store and I went to work in a mall. And like, after working at that mall for like a year, I'm like, yo, this is terrible. Like, because like every single manager, like me, Brandon, and Devin they were all really good managers, like to a certain degree. I think Devin had at least one bad manager.
I don't want to talk about that. Actually, I will talk about that. What the hell is a podcast? I will talk.
But no, like it was bad. Like every single good manager would tell me, you should get out. You're in college. You should find a better job. And I did. And I'm so happy that they were willing to push me to like be better, because I wasn't realizing I should be better.
That's something I really like. I called Ryan my mentor when we worked under him, because he really like wanted to push for us to. He supported us in any way to grow personally and like push our careers wherever. Well, for me personally, I don't want to speak for anyone.
Brandon steps hard for Ryan. But
No, Ryan just actually helped me out. He also like
he's a great friend, and he's also a good mentor. So I agree with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I put him down as a recommendation for the job I work at now, and my boss, like my current boss now, came back to me and was like, "Wow, I never heard someone talk so positively about some person for so long." And I had to thank Ryan for that, because he really chalked it up, and like whenever we see him, it's a good time. Like I think we have a good relationship with him, because we see him now after all of us like not working at GameStop anymore, and like we see him as a good person, like as a friend, and like we're on good terms. I don't want to like leave a job and be on bad terms because of whatever X or Y happened, and it doesn't end well. But like I can look back at GameStop knowing like I had an experience that I learned from, and like these people I met along the way like made it worth it. You know what I mean?
It was the friends made along the way.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the journey, but the friends we made along.
Yeah.
Actually, I had the opposite effect with Ryan. So like,
Oh.
I had a couple breakdowns, and I was like, yo, because I failed like class. It was my second time like working there. It was like around every Black Friday I would fail. I'd fail a class or something, and
Mhm.
like I'd break down, and I'm like, Ryan, I'm quitting right now. I'm putting in my 2 weeks, and he'd be like, no, and he talked me back into GameStop. So Ryan was technically the one to get me drinking the GameStop juice.
So I also
I
do want
think
to. Yeah, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I also want to bring up on that point. I'm glad you actually brought that up, Nikki.
Same.
Yeah.
Granted, it is GameStop juice, and I totally agree with that statement. Where like they make it's a cult. Honestly, GameStop is a
Yeah.
cult. It's like they
It's a
make you
cult.
fucking think. But the thing is that we let it happen to us, and it's a matter of like I guess gaslighting is a good example of it. But the thing is, actually remember that too. I remember he was like, GameStop is pretty much a cult next day. So, the thing is that I remember that. I remember Ryan. It was just like, hey, fucking Nikki, fucking yelled at me because I made him fail his classes. Like, I don't know. The thing is that like, yes, GameStop is a cult, but if honestly, if you just don't really think for yourself, it's just gonna be hard. You have to get Nikki. I understand.
Like I wanted
it's
to
hard.
quit,
It's
and then
hard.
Ryan didn't let me.
It's hard getting gaslit, but just like I guess also like putting yourself up first is always the thing. If say the thing is I'm not in the situation between you guys because I didn't go to school, so I don't know how it is working at school. I mean, I went to high school, but that doesn't really count because I just slept through most of my classes and I still passed. Anyways, what's it called? Yeah, I don't know how it is working in college, but like you did have the chance to quit. I mean, honestly, like if I were in your shoes, I would honestly quit. Like I love Ryan, but like I would like say fuck Ryan, and I'm gonna fuck GameStop particularly, and I'm gonna quit. A lot of my mentality go to GameStop or just trying to improve myself for working for GameStop. See, yeah, I also want to talk about that. So let's go ahead and segue to that, where the mentality for GameStop. So for GameStop, it's always like putting yourself first, and the thing is that we've always done it. So when it comes to sales, we'll talk about sales because it's a good driver for it. So sales is we always had a quota to meet where it's pro cards, trades,
GPGs.
GPGs being game warranties. So the oh yeah, you want to protect your game, it's only $2 extra, you break it and thing. Granted, it's a good thing to have GPGs, but like who the fuck, like unless you're a fucking idiot monkey like or you have some like freak accent, yeah, I guess so. I mean, if you're really worried about that shit, I keep my games on like a thing. It's not necessary, but it's 100% profit for GameStop to have that.
Oh yeah,
100.
it's a business first and foremost. So obviously, you know, sales, money, that's what they're focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can tell you that. If it's non-profit, that it may be otherwise, but in a business sense like this, yeah, that's what they care about. So they always push sales and trying to get that money. But yeah, we had to focus on stuff like getting pro cards, warranties, and chalking up sales just so people would buy things. And I haven't heard of that commission thing till now, actually. So that's interesting that you bring that up because I think at the time, like if we had that, like,
I think it was implemented like right after you left.
oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
It was fairly recent. So yeah, it was another thing is that we worked so hard, and I personally, I don't want to like brag, but like I did, as you guys both know, like I did really good well with some of my sales. At times, it would be sometimes the best seller for the week or whatever. Pro cards, trades, whatever. Like I used to be pretty good at it, decently good, like above average, I'd say. And I only want to say above average only because it's helped me get very far in the company, because of it and a lot of recognition. But the rewards are awful. Like
Oh, yeah.
it was like tooth and nail. Like you want to be assistant manager, but like you're a key holder and you wanted like if that was like the whole driver for you to become assistant manager and you're doing that, and you just don't get it because, you know, I don't know, they just didn't really see you as responsible. But the thing is that, like, it's I want to talk about this. So some of the main drivers is like, oh, you didn't become assistant because you don't have the training, or we don't really see you with doing that, or responsibility. See, the thing is that, like, I understand that, and I understand where I am as a human being. It's like, I understand why you don't want to put me assistant because of this. But me personally, if you were to put me as assistant because, or you didn't want to put me assistant because you were scared of like this or that, it's like, I'm not the worst assistant. Like, I could not be the worst assistant. Or I can't be the worst assistant. The thing is, it was just like, it was so hard to be assistant, and there are a lot of times where I was key holder and I was 10 times better than the assistant, my personal, and that's I in terms of sales and stuff like that. But they had their own things that they were good at, and they were most of the time older than me. So that was also another thing as well, is that I was too young, and that was also very annoying to deal with as well, is age, because right now I'm 22. If they asked me to be assistant, I wouldn't be surprised because of my age. The thing is, I also had a lot of experience too, so just like, that was very annoying to do. It's just like trying to rank up to get an assistant. It's easier for others because they basically spoon fed that shit. But like, there are times where I go to the stores like, how the fuck did you get assistant? I'm so mad. It's all, what it is all place and time. Honestly, if you're at a good place where, you know, assistant's bad, you're looking really good right now, and you know they're hiring, you're most likely gonna get it. For me, it was really hard because we had a lot of good people who wanted to be assistant. Nathan is a good example. I had a fight against Nathan. We both had their good qualities against each other, and you know, in the end, Nathan did it because he stuck with the company, and I just gave up. But you know, it was a biting tooth nail. He had his own things, I had my own things that made us really great. But it was just like, oof, it was not fun. Basically, if it's yeah, it was not good fun competing to be assistant with Nathan or just like anyone else. And it's really demoralizing what you have to go through just to be assistant, and then the outcome is not what you wanted to do, and there's no other alternative way to level up or go to a different thing than assistant. See, for me, at my current job, if I'm really doing well and I really want to, I can move on up. I can go to a different department, or I can possibly advance in my field, which is like what is called a team leader. And that is 100% a lot possible for me, and it's no like, oh, you gotta fight for it type of thing. No, you want to go, if you're doing really well, you couldn't go there. My goal for my company right now is doing well and then going to my IT department, and it's extremely possible. And even though there's so many people that work in my place, it's a lot more possible than at GameStop.
Yeah, the opportunities weren't that great. For me, at the time we needed, so like how some people explain luck is when opportunity meets preparation. In this case, I didn't really want to be a SGA because I was a GA at the time for the first couple of years, and Ryan was like, "Yeah, we need someone. So can you do it?" I'm like, I really don't want to, but somehow he managed to convince me to do it, and I actually hated opening and working by myself. That was like one of the worst times for me too. I think I had a little bit of anxiety. So like when someone came to work with me, obviously I don't like going in the back alone when there's people there as well, and because you know, I'm scared of theft or whatever. But it never happened, at least for me. And whenever someone else came in, I had some sigh of relief, and I don't know. I didn't like that aspect. I didn't want to move up. Like I didn't want to see myself move up because I knew I didn't want to stay there. So like in terms of seniority and like positioning, like I knew I had to go after this, and I made it happen. But like, yeah, you had to take care of a bit more responsibility that comes in tune with the role. But you learn from it too. You learn how to deal with those rowdy customers or certain situations, and if you don't, you just call a higher up to see what to deal with it. And otherwise, I tried to learn and take situations like on my own and try to deal with them myself. I contribute GameStop for like allowing me to have that opportunity, because you have to kind of like think on your feet and stuff like that and go like, all right, what's the best solution for this?
Nikki, you want to add anything? Nikki?
Nikki?
Yeah, give me a minute. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, it was like trying to get recognition. Like, it's great. Like, you would get recognitions and for some things, but moving on up to seeing what you actually want your end goal was.
Mm-hmm.
It was really hard to do. Some people sometimes it was handed to you. Like
Yeah.
Brandon. Like, the thing is that Brandon, you were a great employee. No, Ryan does have 100% persuasion. He has Ryan. I think he's watching this stream right now. But Ryan has what is it? He has all the skill points right now in charisma. He is a charismatic person. If charisma was a person, it'd be Ryan, as well as a crack addict. So like he's not addicted to the crack, but he's like wired. This guy is like off the walls. He is like caffeine embodiment of thing. But he's a great guy. He, even though his he's he's just very persuasive, but he's also uplifting. So it's
for sure.
It's
sympathetic as well.
In a sense, it's almost like gaslighting, but it's not at the same time, because he's still our friend. But then, I guess it's more gaslighting, but it's okay. It's okay. I guess we all simped for Ryan for a little bit, so he was a nice guy. I think that's why we let him gaslight us, but it's fine.
Yeah, good gaslighting, maybe.
Guys, gaslighting, but good. But yeah, he was a good guy to talk to. He became pretty much our good friend. The thing is that we always talk about GameStop, but like honestly, it was like GameStop was awful, but it was the friends that we made along the way. In this context, it is. I've met Brandon through. So I wanted to tell a story about Brandon. I did not associate with Brandon for the longest time. I've met Brandon because Brandon also didn't work as much too. He only worked with Ryan like on the weekends.
Yeah, I had school, so I commuted on the weekends.
He had school. I've seen him a couple times, and I was like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And then, what's it called? I met Brandon, and then it was just like, oh, this guy, look at this dude. What's up, Fumi? But we actually didn't become like really good friends until like a year after. I think this when Fighters came out, and then we hung out a lot more.
Oh, was it? I don't.
Yeah. Because even when Fighters was out, we weren't like really good friends. Because I know for a fact you were hella salty when I beated you in that tournament.
Wait, were you the one to eliminate me there?
Yeah, I did. I was the one to eliminate. I actually KO'd you twice. I sent you to losers, and I got you knocked out.
Okay, I think I kind of remember that. All right.
What's it called? Salt's created friendship. I guess so, because I guess Brandon invited to his house and stuff like that. We play a lot of Fighters and stuff like that. Fighters and Monster Hunter really, like, we just got to know each other. I think Brandon liked Dragon Quest. No one likes Dragon Quest, by the way. I think Dragon Quest, we got along because of Dragon Quest. We got along because of Monster Hunter, Fighters and stuff like that. Video games brought us together.
Yeah, for sure.
Nikki was just like, I think Ryan. I didn't realize that Ryan, but like Nikki, like Ryan was like, dude, Nikki's attached to you. It was like probably because I'm the other Cambodian guy who like pseudo knows like League of Legends. I don't want to brag, but I guess I attach myself to like I'm very like I'm a blob when it comes to social gatherings. Like I guess like I vibe with everyone or I try to, and that's why.
Yeah, I can see that.
Ultra T Spiller, I like this. Yo, Ultra T Spiller, what's up? I like that name. We're talking about the T. Thanks for the lurk, dude. I appreciate it. Ultra T Spiller, amazing name, honestly.
Yeah, I think one of like because of GameStop, yeah, we all knew each other had interests. We also had the same ethnicity, so that brought us together as well.
Yeah, we're all
And
Cambodian.
now that I recall, like, so that fighters tournament that was at GameStop, correct?
Yeah, it was at GameStop.
So I think from there, I'm like, hey, this guy likes fighting games. I'm kind of interested in it because I think Fighters was the first game to kind of bring me into fighting games like a lot more seriously, and like I actually lab that game a decent amount, so I know how to do some combos here and there. And I think from there, stemming from our interests, like along with you recommending anime and us playing other games, we played a lot of fighting games together too, and you showed me a lot, and we went to tournaments, and that was really awesome. So like I guess that stems from GameStop too, so respect for there, because like that was a lot of fun and just playing those stuff, like having a community of people who like fighting games. That was like that's just awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't wanna. I'm not amazing at Smash, but I'd say I'm above average. So you see this guy, this fucker over here. He's like, I got a good Ike, and like, and then Rob was like, yeah, he has a good Ike, and he's like, but he's not that good. I'm like, I want to be the judge of that, and I fucking was wrong. Ryan has a solid Ike.
Yeah. I played a lot of Smash during that time too, but I think I branched out more, and I'm glad of it.
He plays a lot more Smash than me, honestly. What's it called? Yeah, we bonded over fighting games and things. The thing is that like the what we played. We played a lot of different games. So like I play a lot of different games. I don't play like the traditional shooters. I mean I do. I'm a liar. I played you know, we play fighting games. Like I play RPGs and fighting games. So like no one really else plays it. Like Nikki plays League of Legends, but I don't think I've ever played a game with Nikki until recently. And unless it's like IRL like Smash thing where he's like forced into it. In terms of like gradually like actually playing it online, I've only played a game with Nikki recently, and that was Risk of Rain, and that was it. And the thing is that Nikki and I have been like friends for like since the beginning of GameStop, and Nikki was actually, I guess Nikki and Rob were like the first friends I made there. Nikki just being attached to me because I was the other Cambodian guy there, and then Rob was because I played Smash, and Rob wanted me to be part of the, you know, the Smash scene over there.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I give or takes. Give or takes of that situation. There are some people from there, but there were some good people there.
Yeah, I see one of your topics is like how crappy the company is, but do you want to actually dive into the opposite, which is like the good things about it? Because for me, like, I think the midnight releases were always a thing, and then we turned into like sometimes games would have the 9 p.m.s and stuff like that, and we did early releases, which was actually really awesome because you literally just got your game early, went home and played it. What else did you like actually enjoy from GameStop?
What I actually enjoyed from GameStop was actually the atmosphere, because at the time of working at GameStop, I remember working at Stop and Shop, and I was like, damn, this is a really nice environment. I am surrounded by video games and people who are video games. Which is nice. I hate another thing about GameStop is working by yourself and having to open or close by yourself. That was annoying to deal with.
That sucked, yeah.
I hate dealing with that. I'm pretty sure I hate working by myself. It's so boring.
Yeah, I think we all do because it's
No
low
one
in the best place.
Yeah, and it's just like if you're with customers, like I fucking hate these guys. There are times when you work by yourself, you get a regular that comes in, but usually a regular that you like. There's a lot of regulars that you don't like that come in. It's so annoying. This is one guy. There's a lot of guys, not just one guy. But yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I say one thing I enjoy from the company is definitely the midnight releases as well as my coworkers. And the
Those were
discount,
actually fun.
and the discount. It was a 15% discount, by the way, on video game. But like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can't really think of things I really like. I mean, it's just like it's Gamestop. You're surrounded by games. You're surrounded, like if you're surrounded by good people. So the thing is that I realized that one thing is that it's not about what you're doing for work. It is the people you're surrounded with. So if you work at like the shittiest job ever, or whatever, but you know you have really good friends you could talk to about it or whatever like that, I think that's worth it. How much we got? 15%, not 50%. 15.
Yeah. Yeah, midnight releases were actually one of the funnest things because if I was working and had a fun
I play in a lot of those.
if we had a fun team and we were planning things like giveaways or like raffles and like a side tournament or something like that, that was fun because Ryan was like, yeah, you want to host this and actually just like participate and like mine customers and you'll get paid for it and like we'll switch off. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just like I don't know, do you think midnight releases are like just kind of like not really a thing anymore, aside from COVID, like before like people just like here's the game, all right, see ya, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like here's the game, bye.
The thing is that we were granted really lucky because again it was our staff. Like Lowell staff is the best staff in this fucking area. Like that staff was great, and Ryan does say himself, it was the greatest staff. Not only did we actually did our jobs, we all liked each other. Well, for the most part.
Yeah.
First it was here and there, but I won't get into specifics because.
Yeah. It's some
But
sour apples.
sour apples, definitely. Oh man, sour apples fucking a real job. Anyways, the thing is that working at Midnights was great. Interacting with people, it was a fun experience. But the thing is that like, I mean,
That wasn't every day.
Yeah, I mean they're fun. I mean like, also just like staying that up late wasn't like the best thing to do, but like.
It was hype to be around people who were excited for the same game you were, and then going home to play it and coming in the next day and talking about all the customers who were picking up the next day or coming in, to talk. I felt like actually some customers came in just to chat about games at some point. I'm like, oh, cool, like, blah, blah, blah,
There are
It
people
was
who
great.
do that.
But, we had a job to do as well. But, it was fun being in the atmosphere, like you said, that other people were hyped about because that gets you hyped and, it's about games and, you enjoy if you enjoy what you talk about, it'll be a good time,
Where the fuck?
And I like that.
Okay, man, this man's got his pizza.
Are you back, Nikki?
No, he's definitely not.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
But yeah,
things you don't like.
things. No, we're not talk about that. But yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed the midnight releases. I want to dwell more again on sales. We will track back onto it because
Okay.
there's one thing I wanted to talk about is Circle of Life. You guys weren't
Oh, God.
you guys weren't really there so much for Circle of Life when it was implemented, but Circle of Life is really bad.
I hate I like all of it.
Circle of Life basically is it's overdrive. So they made us as well as our techniques is like, granted some of them are good, like the assumptive approach and stuff like that, but it was just like, okay, we're gonna. So the thing is that assumptive approach is really bad. So assumptive approach is what they did is like, hey, do you guys want this game warranty? I just added on there. It's basic. So
That was so bad.
dude,
That was so bad.
Dude, I just realized like GameStop should be called Gaslighting Stop because it's just like you just pretty much your whole sales pitch is like, you add the shit that you want to make in that sale already on there, and then like, hey, I'm gonna add this GPG. Look, it's only $3 more. You get that warranty. Da 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 da. I don't remember how the sales pitch goes anymore, and I've worked there for hours, so I've done it like in the back of my. It's all in the mood. So if I actually were to go to GameStop and you like give me anything, I would probably do it. Do the whole sales spiel. But you know, going into pro cards as well. So pro cards are pretty much another lifeblood of the company is the pro cards. So it's, you know, how that was a meme back in the day. Pro cards are a pretty much big thing for GameStop. If you're not selling pro cards, it's gonna be a problem. And even in COVID, they're still demanding the hell out of it, which is insane to me.
Yeah. I think because of GameStop, I've definitely noticed, sorry, like sales tactics and trends, because that's something, just going back a little to some type of approach things, like going to other like electronic stores where they offer warranties. They're like, yeah, let me just throw on this warranty, so you'll be good to go. I'm like, wait, I didn't ask for that. No thanks. You can see on the little screen that they added it. If they do that, and you're like, you can just say no. Like, you have all the right to deny that.
Oh my god, we were at Walmart and we tried to buy the fucking Dragon Quest for
Oh yeah,
Francis, and she's like added that. I'm like, wait, what the fuck is that? I was like, oh
no,
sorry.
no, we don't want that.
Yeah, she didn't even ask because she just fucking added on there. She didn't even try to, and she tried to like.
I know, she didn't even like try to deny it.
She tried to get away with it. It was so awful.
Yeah, like, don't do that, guys. Like,
yeah,
don't add things without the customer's permission.
Yeah,
That's just like, people have been fired for creating. I know someone was fired for creating like fake pro cards, and like, bro, like, you can't be doing that. Like, come on. Like, what do you think you're doing here?
Oh man, fake pro cards. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going on with pro cards in Circle Life.
So yeah, it's another thing is trades too. They also have you. Oh yeah, they do that a lot, and the thing is that I'm guilty for it. I don't like the. Oh, I apologize. I should put the subject. The subject of this podcast is GameStop. Yeah. We have the three people in this chat right now. Me, myself, and I. Brandon, Noon Cry, Nikki, and we all have 4+ years at GameStop. And we wanted to talk how either good or bad a company is, because the company is definitely not the best place to work at. It's a Fortune 500 company. If you guys don't know what that means, it's like a really good company, I guess, in layman's terms. But it is it doesn't, like, their business practice or not. And honestly, I don't think that GameStop is gonna last a couple more. I honestly just wanted to burn. Personally.
They still hold on to like the pre-owned aspect. I see other like stores do it in terms of like, hey, we're gonna refurbish this or have some like pre-owned sale games. But GameStop still has a huge library of like older generation games that like, it's like their stock is way bigger than like mom and pop shop stuff like that. So it's like they just have this mass like stock of like older games, you know, that they're trying to sell, and sometimes they're cheaper, but there's other times they mark it up to, and it's like, what the heck?
I have to admit, going to a lot of like the smaller companies. Granted, it's GameStop, and they're a bigger company, so they can do things at just price. But finding some retro games at GameStop is a lot cheaper than any other place. So.
Yeah, I got a couple of GBA games, and during the holiday with discount, it was like pretty decent price. Like, I even got a Fire Emblem, and Advance Wars and Final Fantasy Tactics. That might have been a different store actually, but I got Fire Emblem and a couple other games because they're definitely marking up in price, and I think another thing that GameStop keeps up with is just uh like in terms of marketing, like prices and trends. So like they'll bump up prices of games that were a lot older, and like even I feel like I remember there was I think it was Fire Emblem Awakening. It was literally like still $40 pre-owned.
It's because that game was actually really popular.
Exactly. So any rare games, like also like the Ike's games and other and like Xenoblade, they were like almost like 80 plus or something like that. So it's like if you find one at a store, it'd like be considered quote unquote rare.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there'd definitely be games like that.
Let's see here. Yeah, they're trading games. They implement us to trade games. So it was just like you know, it was like just bugging people. Like, yeah, you try fucking you trade this game, man. It's like that's something that it's hard to control as well. It's just like
Hmm.
how we're gonna know they have games to trade and things. It just but it's just a matter of just asking people. Because
Yeah.
the people do come back and just like, yeah, I'm fucking back with all this shit, man. I'm gonna trade this shit. I'm like, good, dude.
Literally.
But, you know,
Some people were all for it. Like they came with stacks of stuff and were like scanning for like an hour. It's like Jesus Christ. And they
yeah.
got something out of it, you know. One thing, one of the mottos we go by is like instead of going like on eBay or other second hand sites, like you could just like dump it at GameStop. We'll take it off your hands, and though you may not get the best price, you know, we'll just take it from you and you know give you either in-store credit or cash, which cash usually gets lesser than in-store credit.
Mm-hmm.
That's how usually businesses work, because they want you to get stuff in the store. But you know,
Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
No. I want to talk about this. This is something that I'm definitely not for customers. We'll talk about customers now, but this is a good segue. I'm with this one in terms of trade credit. Trade credit is decent for what it is. $30 for a brand new $60 game that you traded does sound awful, but then again, it does stay at that for quite a while. And you have people who buy games and trade them in. Like, bro, why are you doing this? Right away, which is like fine. You know, you bought a game that you didn't like, but then again, like, you know, we're not a fucking charity. We're not gonna give you these games. You know, customers. Another thing is, well, this is a very common thing. Is granted, people always shit about GameStop's trade prices, and it's funny, but I think they're okay, decently. It's in terms of a business as point of it, it's decent for how much they give you.
If you utilize like deals
Mm.
and like trade bonuses, it can be worth it. But you have to kind of wait for them and see when they come out. Otherwise, you're kind of getting
Yeah. And another
trash.
thing is that I hate it when people trade in last year's fucking sports game or whatever and expect so much shit, and they're like, yeah, I'm just trying to use this for fucking you know, 2K22, but why are you giving me like, okay, but why is 2K21 so low? Oh my god. It's supply and demand. Like that's always gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
It's just like older sports games are gonna be or any year, especially Call of Duty. Call of Duty is kind of like a gray area because sometimes it is like that. But Call of Duty usually hold the price, but we have a lot of them.
They just whittle out those games that are like hashed every year. They go so they plummet in price for trades that like it's you see them in the bargain bin all the time.
Yeah,
Like they're not worth much if
they're
anything.
not
So.
worth anything.
Yeah,
At
remember?
all.
Yeah, Devin, remember that guy? He said Far Cry. No, Borderland Tree.
More entry. Oh yeah.
We had to explain to. So there was this customer that was pretty fob. You know, nothing against fob people, of course, but like he just didn't understand like the concept of trading. So we had to physically show him. All right, this is a game you're giving to us to trade, and we need your form of identification to put you down in the system because it was part of our policy. Like, the pawn law.
Yeah, I mean, it's a standard thing. We need your ID for a trade in, dude. We're giving you money or trade credit for
Exactly.
an item that you own. we need identification. It's kind of substandard. Some people still don't get that fucking notion. But yeah, and this guy did not want to give us his ID. He probably didn't have one because he was very, very, as Brandon said, fobby. Fobby meaning fresh out the boat. I mean, I can say that because I'm fucking Asian. I get the Asian pass. Yeah.
He said he traded before, so I was confused. I'm like, if you've done this before, don't you know you need an ID to trade these games? And we're explaining to him like 50 times. We're like, dude.
I don't believe that guy. He definitely did. Yeah, explaining that guy trade was awful.
No.
So thing is that trade credit is definitely thing, but you got some really dumb people who expect a lot of shit from older things. I don't understand where your fucking value sensor is. This is why it's so easy to scam people. I honestly, when I worked at this job, you realize how people are just either sheep or they're just plain lack of common sense. And
I can give you an example there.
Yeah, go ahead.
For the second one. So this guy literally bought a game. It was a pretty cheap game, right? Like maybe $1 or even less than that, maybe. And I sold him a GP. Or yeah, it was $1 or $2 or whatever. And then I sold him a GPG that literally the game warranty that literally cost more than a game, and he wanted it, and he didn't second think it. So I sold it to him because I asked. That's all I did. I didn't say it was more expensive than his game. I'm like, oh, you want this game? Do you want the warranty? He's like, yeah. And he bought it, and the warranty was more than the game. So I'm like, all right, that's a point for me. But yeah, it's his money.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's so stupid. It's I can't believe that was done. So the thing, yeah, why would you sell someone? Why would you buy something that's the same cost of your game, but then you could just buy
or more?
Well, you could just buy a new game at that point, the same game again if you break it. It's so stupid. Yeah, dealing with customers is, kind of what you think. Again, on the subject on mentality, yeah, everyone buys. I was gonna talk about it.
Hey, I'm back. I'm sorry about that, guys. I had a phone
Very
call.
good.
I had a serious phone call.
But yeah, dealing with customers was was not the worst. I'll fucking put the subject on.
Yeah. Nikki, we were talking about customers. We had some
my
experiences. Do you want to share anything? Anything you had?
My favorite time was Devin just got in and clocked in one time, and I was ringing out this guy. He came up and he dropped Madden or whatever on the counter. He was like, I want to get this. I was like, okay. And Devin's like, hey, what's up, man? And how's it going? Picking up Madden, and tried talked about the pro card, talked about the reserves, and then there was this awkward 2 minutes of the ringing out, we realized something. And as he left, he smelled like ass. He smelled so bad, it was disgusting. Devin made the most grossest face ever, and we couldn't his smell stuck on the counter. His handprint left a smell of booty. It was awful.
Yeah.
There was definitely some people who lacked any good sense of hygiene, and
it was
I couldn't stand it. I can't stand the ones that talk for a long time and have that smell. I'm like, bro, I just can't right now.
Leave.
It's so bad. You could smell these people from across the store, and there'd be other customers just like, dude, do you smell that? That smells so awful. I'm like, I don't know.
I'm an awful person. When people come like that, I actually do spray in the air in front of them just to fucking piss them off. Because it's dude, what the hell are you doing?
It's that convention meme where they give out deodorant because people don't shower at the conventions.
This is This is that guy was an example of that.
Yeah, I also had a customer, this woman who I remember I was working with Ryan. You might have been there too, Devin. I'm not sure, but she came in and she was trying to return this game. We couldn't do it because like she didn't have a receipt or some other policy, and she broke down crying. I'm like, it was kind of awkward because we were just I'm sorry, and then Ryan just like went on and was the good guy he was and kind of uh just like returned it or whatever. But like she's like I don't know if I was an actor. She legit like was trying to she legit felt that way, but she was just like bawling her tears. I'm like, oh my, okay, woman, I'm sorry, but this is an establishment. We gotta take care of other customers, and Ryan will hero deal with you. Like, geez, like we had some really interesting people like coming to our store. I'm sure you guys can add on to that one, huh?
I have stories. I'll let Nikki go first.
No, I mean I didn't. Man, I will say though I love the weeb customer base because that like when days were really slow, nothing's happening, and they come in, there and there's nothing else to do, and you finish all your tasks. It's probably one of the best things that could happen because they will just talk to you about anime.
You're an electrical man.
Bro,
Did you really finish your task? I'm just kidding.
Fucking. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, like it was just a good feeling, But I mean, I think the worst customers are the ones who try to come in and scam you. Let's sell you like a fake iPhone or something. Like, oh yeah, I need money for this. This is a real iPhone, and it's just like, bro, I know this is fake. My computer ran this up. Yeah. Just leave. And like, the worst part is that they'll actually try to call corporate about it, and then like, you get chewed out for whatever they do.
Oh, by the way,
or say,
is your thing noon underscore cry?
Yeah, it's noon_cry.
Okay, cool. But yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
But it was just one of those things where it's like I only dislike the customers when they're clearly being rude and like trying to like get a rouse out of me when like it's not gonna happen.
Oh,
that was the worst.
So, see, I love when those customers come in. I love playing.
Oh, dude.
I love messing with those people. So, so the thing is that like people who are intentionally rude, I love pushing their buttons. Like I am fucking awful. Honestly, I learned the art of the deal, which is basically what I mean by that is that I know how to fucking insult people without actually sounding like I'm insulting you. I'm very condescending as well as snide. You don't realize that 90% of my job when I'm working at GameStop, I'm making fun of you every single step of the way. Unless you're a genuinely actually interesting person to talk to, I am making fun of you. If you're buying GTA or NBA, I am fucking making fun of you at that store.
You're like, bro, why are you buying this trash game?
No. It's more like some people do let you get away with it. You had to you had to test your waters a little bit, but I'm like, I don't know, man. You buying this game? Didn't you buy it last year, bro? Like, what do you fucking want? Yeah. like when it comes to like sports games, like, bro, you fucking like, oh man, like, why are you buying broken games, bro? I just sold to you, bro. Like, there are a lot of people who I just like literally just blatantly make fun of, and I love challenging. It's really annoying dealing with like the hot-headed people that come in. I'm usually good at diffusing situations, but like I used to like challenging them because these people literally think they're fucking like God or some shit. Like they think they're fucking like what I don't know what the fuck you're thinking. What you're doing is like right, but like how the hell do you think this is okay to treat other people? The thing is that like people are like that the Karens don't think you're like your actual people, and they expect so much out of you, and I don't give those any attention. I hate groveling at people. And I do that for my job now, but the thing is that like I can be very snide with that as well. But I am very condescending when it comes to things, and I honestly
You
No,
don't take
no,
this
yeah,
shit.
no one. Yeah, I don't like taking shit from people.
Yeah.
I've asked. There are times where I did ask people to leave the store. Like, people are awful sometimes. Like, if you don't like it, fucking leave. I don't give a shit. Go to another GameStop, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I had this instance. Oh, this is actually a different type of customer, but we have a lot of foreigners too, so some people don't even speak like English. And I think I had this guy from Brazil,
dude, he just
or
wants to take you to Brazil, dude.
or maybe I think he was Portuguese or something like that. I'm not sure. I couldn't understand. What comes down to it, I didn't understand what he was saying, and I literally he had a phone translation app because he was looking for a certain game, so he was speaking into his phone, and then he was handing it to me so I could read it, and then I'd speak in English, and we'd like that was actually pretty interesting and really fun because like we had a whole conversation through that phone app. You know how you see some random Facebook video on like people trying to communicate with foreigners through some app. That was literally me in the GameStop at that one point trying to talk to this guy, like seeing what he needs because he was genuinely looking for a game and I wanted to help him, and this is the only way we could communicate, and that's exactly what we did. So I got him his game. He like shook my hand. Like, it was just funny and kind of wacky, and I feel like I wouldn't get an instant like a situation like that like really anywhere else, and like. I just look back to it and I'm like, that was interesting.
Yeah. I mean, there are some good things when you're genuinely helping people out. It's also very thing, or just telling people like straight up, like people like your honesty, and
Yeah,
that
they can help you.
people genuinely come back for like being honest. Like, even though I'm very snide, I'm not like a dick 100%. I've made a lot of people who likes coming to our store. I had I call him the Broly guy, but literally this Broly guy literally loves coming to my store because of me. And I think Ryan could attest to that, dude. He literally he would like ask for me every time I'm like not working. Like, bro, where's Devin? I'm just like, He also added me on Facebook. I didn't accept his Facebook request, but I don't know
The shade.
I mean, it was weird. I don't really. I mean, like, he's just a customer. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Like, there are some customers that I've made friends with. I don't think it's very a lot, but
Yeah, I actually remember some times where certain customers would ask for
Devin,
like certain people, not even just Devin, just certain people. Like some people ask for you, Nikki, and I'm like, yeah, he's not here, stuff like that.
Actually, you know what? To be fair, I want to bring that up. I'm sorry, Nikki, to put you under the bus, but every time someone asks for Nikki, it's because they're mad at him.
Yeah, that is actually very true. They're either mad at me or something, or like I did something or sold something to them, and like
They're like, who's this Nikki
like,
person?
who the
I'm like,
fuck
"Let me
is
see
this
your
Nikki
receipt."
person? I'm like, oh my fucking god, Nikki. What the fuck did you do?
But Devin, to be fair, remember every single time like you'd come in and I'm about to sell a fucking pro card or like a reservation, you'd be like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" And then just you existing there in that conversation, they would say, "You know what? Never mind. I don't want this," and then they just peace out. Remember?
What?
No,
What?
I've
That
never,
happened a couple times.
I've never had that.
I remember
I've
this.
never had
Is that just a
I
strange
remember this.
coincidence?
I don't remember that.
It's just I don't think it's a strange coincidence. I remember this. Like Devin would come into the conversation and talk about either the reservation or the thing he's buying, and he'd immediately turn around and say no, and then he would leave.
Oh,
it was such a 180.
So there's the thing. Well, the thing is that Nikki, I wanna also put you under the bus, but your numbers weren't also great as well. And I tried my best to help you out, and honestly, it's awful.
Devin, I wouldn't sweat it.
But
It's in the past.
Like your numbers weren't great. Like I tried to help you out and stuff like that, and granted, like I felt like it was needed. Like you never went to my store. Thanks for the bits, Jason. You never. The thing is that like it's like I had to like help you sell. Like there are times where you don't want it, but like there are a lot of times where I literally like interject. It's a big problem with me too. I hover a lot when people are. How are Victor's number? Victor's number were awful. He was like one of the worst sellers. He had the charisma, but he could not sell.
Yeah, for sure.
Victor is like the worst salesman. He has the
Everyone's
charisma,
different.
He like you would think that Victor's a good seller, but he's not a good seller. So it really goes to show when you're working at this job that that game
You
knowledge
need
comes
some form of sales tactic.
game knowledge is second. It's all about sales. I was good. I was pretty decent at getting sales. I've sold. I think the high. I saw this guy coming in for like a gift card, and he walked away spending $3,000 on.
Oh my god! Wait, what?
Yeah, I've had that happen before.
I sold someone like I set up a couple people with like a whole like bundle like a next gen gaming console and like accessories and games and stuff like that, like a Switch. Like people like I really want to get into Switch. Like some people don't like have any knowledge of what there is and what to get, so they come in and ask for that, and that's fine because that's what we're there for. And we'd be like, all right, like let's first things first, the console. All right, what games do you like? Accessories, you know, it kind of goes forth from there, and you kind of like try to upsell and like you can respectfully give them add-ons. Like I highly recommend the warranty stuff like that. Oh, like this requires the online membership. You know, you're good for a year. Boom, only $20. This game's really good, and they'll be like, yeah. And sometimes they say no, and that's fine. But it can really build up, and like transactions like that, you'd have like really good sales, and you'd feel good about yourself too because like you did all that work, and then whoever you're working with, like, sometimes if you have a higher up, they like applaud you for that too because it's like, wow, good job with your sales tactic there. You're like, you did a good job.
So I want to explain the 3,000 things because I guess I guess next is like yeah. So the context between that and how I sold them $3,000 worth of shit is because it was this guy and his girlfriend coming into the store. This guy wanted to buy a PlayStation card, but then I think him and his girlfriend was talking about like a console, getting a console for her and stuff like that. And I think the VR just came out, and I just did some talking. I was like, hey, you know, VR, this, that, and then I was like, yeah, dude, you can play with your girlfriend or whatever. You can play this online game with them or this or that. Like, why don't you have your own PS4? I think it was the game they wanted to play. I think it was a game they wanted to play together. But as I told them, as you know, being 2020, the game is not couch co-op. That you would need another system for it, and that kind of segue to like buying a console. It's like, yeah, buy this console, and then you know they buy these couple games. Like, yeah, but like, oh, like it's like, wait, and they're like, oh, is that a VR? I'm like, yeah, it's a VR. And then I sold them PlayStation VR. I sold them a shit ton of games. I've added, so it adds to 3,000 because they also bought warranties too. And of like other game accessories as well as the membership and shit like that. They bought a lot of shit that day, and they bought a lot of even gift cards too. So they bought a lot of stuff, headsets, fucking headsets, you know, extra controllers, PlayStation things, and vice versa. It was like huge. Like I can't remember all particularly, but they spent a lot of stuff, and they also bought like toys and shit, so like, you know, collectibles and shit. So they also bought collectibles on top of the consoles. They they were like cursing me. They're not cursing me like in a bad way. It was like joking way. Cause like, dude, like I just came here, just to buy this, and like we walked out with 3,000. Like, I'm sorry, Brad. I'm just doing my job.
Yeah. Do you also remember those customers who like buy mad gift cards and like copies of a single game? It's like, alright, that's actually sus. Like you're definitely either a reseller or like you're doing something sus right here. Like, come on.
That really only happens during like holidays or like holidays or really big sales when people do resell them, and that's just like we just try to control that. It's annoying that I hate scalpers. Like I have zero shit for scalpers. So when people try to come into the store and scalp for shit, when I know for a fact, I think I fucking stop that because scalpers piss me off. I don't give a shit. Like I get this is not like my moral code and like it's gonna happen, but like if I'm gonna stop this, I'm gonna stop this fucker right now. Like I put the fucking Thanos glove. Like I'll do this myself. And
the actual Thanos glove.
And then usually there are times where like I've people who come scalping, and then I would call like literally the GameStop district, and they're like, hey, watch out for this guy, and he would not be able to buy anything. I think another thing at GameStop as well is phone trades. I hate phone trades.
Oh yeah.
Not the process, but just like dealing with people who want to do phone trades. People who do phone trades are the sketchiest fuckers alive. I'll let you know.
That's
There's this
Oh, yeah.
one guy in particular who's literally. I've actually a funny thing. This one guy that in particular that is very sketchy when he does the phone trades. I actually found him on Facebook Marketplace, and one of the reviews was like, "This guy's a scam. Don't trust this guy. He's an awful." And this guy did go to jail. So.
Jeez, how do you know that?
Well, he went to jail before then. Like, he wasn't to go to jail because of the result.
I think he told us like why he was doing the trade. I remember that guy.
What do you say?
I don't remember in particular, but like he looked like he does a lot of hard drugs because his teeth were falling out and he looked disgusting.
Ew, that's ew. That's gross.
So
Oh.
the GameStop in Roxbury where I used to work at, the thing is that they don't take phone trades at a certain time because a lot of crackheads come at that time. So
Oh, yeah.
they actually limit on phone trades because it's actually a big problem. Because there are a lot. I don't know how the fucking crackheads get these phones, but like they somehow have these phones and they trade a lot.
Yeah, man, we dealt with a lot of interesting customers over the years.
Yeah, holidays. Holidays are the worst. So holidays. Fucking Black Friday is a fucking trek. I hate doing split shifts on holidays, and I've done it where I have to work in the morning and then work at night. Black Friday.
Oh.
Black Friday itself is not that bad. So if you ever um if you ever work Black Friday at GameStop, for me personally, I'd say take the morning shift. Granted,
Get it over with.
you're gonna be fucking at midnight or whatever how early they open. But here's the thing. It's fucking late at night. So people who come in and they come in for the initial rush, people who are like hardcore Black Friday for some fucking reason, they come at that time. But then it's a rush. The thing
Oh,
is
yeah.
that I've dealt with rushes before. It's a rush and then it's slowed and it's dead for another 6 hours. So there's no one coming in the store.
Literally.
No one comes in the store because you would think that people would come in the store for Black Friday and it would be consistent, but it's not until later during the day of Black Friday when people actually showed up. So working like the morning shift or like the really early shift for Black Friday is not that bad. It's you have the initial rush and people buy all that shit and they leave, and then it's dead for the next hours, and then it's only until like during the day for Black Friday or during the week is like when it's busy. It's only during the day, so the initial like when they open at 5 a.m. or whatever is not that bad as actually working throughout the whole day for it, because it's actually consistently busy and it's like fucking diner dash or some shit. It's like everyone's fucking hectic. Also dealing with seasonals during the holidays also is very annoying. They like fucking like crack under pressure. Like, bro, just calm the fuck down. Listen to what we have to say. Fucking listen here, soldier. You'll fucking get in there.
I mean, they were there for like it said, the season, so they don't stay for that long. And sometimes like if we get a good one, we keep them. But you know, I remember our team just having like so many different employees over the years. I even like come to forget it. Like, wow, we had a ton of freaking people at this store, and because Nikki and I were like part of the first.
Yeah. Well,
first
no, you were the
generation.
first. Actually, you were first
Oh, okay,
generation.
yeah.
I was technically the second because I was seasonal, but you were permanent hire when you first got there.
Yeah. Well, you're a close second, but you've seen and you
Mhm.
stayed like longer than me, so like you've seen
yeah.
like most of the people there, and we had to go through a lot of different staff members. But holiday season, I do remember being the later shift, so like it was dead. Like we were just sitting there twiddling our thumbs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I think
you
working
guys-
the early shifts were ridiculous, actually, because like you'd get the rush and then it'd be like 5 hours, nothing. I think at some point one year I just fell asleep in front of the counter with like the other employees.
Yeah, I've heard people slept in a system closet before.
I've never done that, but that shit gets hot.
I've never.
That shit,
It does get hot in
the
there.
the
Holy shit.
fucking the system closet in low gets super hot because it's like a closed off room with a heater above, and it's like, why the fuck is the heater right above it? It's either super cold or super hot depending on what time of
Yeah.
year it is.
That's true.
And oh my god, it was like a sauna in there, dude. Yeah, I do have the pride, but like the pride myself in like we had the best GameStop around in that store.
Oh yeah, for sure.
100%.
We proved it just being on the leaderboards or whatever. Just one of the top stores,
Yeah,
straight up.
yeah. People wish.
Yeah, we got our time.
People wish they had our staff. Ryan still wishes he has our staff. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, customers are like one thing, but oh man.
I think the company was another. Honestly.
The company was the bigger part of the problem. Honestly, dealing with customers, like, you'll get a dime a dozen, you get the annoying, rude, or whatever people, but then you get like it's just dealing with the company as well. The company is not really, they're tone deaf and like how to keep things like. So the reason of the podcast, guys, is like why I wanted to talk about GameStop is not because they're like experienced, but it's just like how stupid the company runs. They were in recent news because they were holding a competition for their employees. Tone deaf part. But they were holding a contest for their employees this year in order to get more. So it's a competition to get more hours to work. The reward is to get more hours to work on Black Friday for a season you don't want, like a holiday you don't want to work on, but it's extra hours, and hours itself is hard to come by for GameStop. So basically what that means is that if you want extra hours, so what that means is that having extra hands there when you're working at GameStop, I mean working at the holiday, is what that means basically.
Yeah, I only heard of that recently.
So and the way to get this price is to do a TikTok dance, and they're like, you have to do a TikTok dance or some TikTok, and if you're good at it or it's good, we'll give you more hours for Black Friday. I was like, what the fuck are they thinking?
So, as of recent, like near when I was leaving, like GameStop was getting more into social media, and I remember Ryan being the lead on running the Instagram account.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I think they're jumping on the TikTok bandwagon, and like, yeah, we we need some content, so here, you guys do it for us. And they're trying to get the employees to do it and incentivize them by something that's mediocre. Like some people may have needed the hours just for like sustaining livelihood, and like they need the money, but like what the hell, like
Oh yeah.
like this is a job. Why are you rewarding us with hours that we should, quote unquote, should be getting? Like what prize is this? Like that's kind of whack. That is whack.
Yeah, they also had a stupid fucking Instagram like thing. So each store had their own Instagram, and then it's just like, why though? Like
They're jumping on that social media bandwagon, man. Like they're trying to go for other marketing tactics, and clearly they made the news from this one, so they're doing something
because
questionably right.
bad press
Slash
is
wrong.
still good press. It doesn't really matter. Press is press.
Yeah, GameStop does not even have a good reputation already, so it doesn't, like, you know, they already screwed themselves.
Oh man.
That's hella cringe.
It's really a shitty company.
My favorite thing was actually working through a snowstorm and getting 0 customers. It was fucking hilarious. I actually at some point pulled, like, we had a Snorlax beanbag chair. At one point I pulled that out and I sat on that the rest of my shift.
I think
God,
It did absolutely nothing.
we also had a snowstorm for the Pokemon Let's Go release, and
I
there
was
was
there.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
and people still showed up for that. I remember that. I was
Yeah.
like, it was a snowstorm, but people, fuck it, dude. It's for Pokemon, dude. Like, you guys, you don't realize this is dangerous shit right now, right? It was
Yeah, they don't care.
they thought
You fly.
they thought they were cool because they were making for this release and they got the game early. I was just there because I thought it was I had to work there, but um, I thought it was funny. They thought it was like, haha, you guys are so cool. You guys made it for the Pokemon. You guys are really dedicated fans. And in reality, I was just like, damn, you guys are just fucking idiots, right? Like, look at these guys getting fucking Pokemon Go at 12 a.m. fucking during a snowstorm. Fucking, fucking dumbasses.
We're the bigger idiots for opening up and letting them come in.
Well, the thing is that they forced it to do that. We had
Yeah, like
So that goes
it's
to
like
the higher ups. They were
forcing.
the idiots sometimes.
Yeah.
We were just following. We were just doing as we were told.
We're just following orders.
Colonel.
God.
Yeah. Next gen is around the corner. Literally.
Yeah, next gen
Oh
is
my
around the
god.
corner. GameStop hasn't been like really good about like how handling the situation, COVID situation.
But yeah, didn't they get in trouble with like the state of Massachusetts for not closing down stores during COVID, and they got fined for it?
Yeah. So another thing.
I didn't hear about. I didn't know.
So yeah, GameStop was trying to open their stores when they're not supposed to, and they got fucking fined for it. And it was just like for the mission type of thing. Again, I want to go back to the point where GameStop is a cult thing, because the thing is that besides like a lot of like people think that they're outweighing the good with the bad, but the thing is there's so much bad. There's like
Yeah.
the good ones are hard to come by. Like the conference, like the GameStop conference is only exclusive to store managers. Granted, you get like free consoles and shit, and that's really nice, and that's like incentive for some people to work. But it's just like, but why though?
Like, is it really worth at the
Is
end?
it really?
Oh my god.
Is it really
Favorite
worth
quote: GameStop's essential to the community to play video games and entertainment. It's really what-
They're a business. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, it's definitely not an essential fucking company.
Think about all digital. That's gonna definitely kill GameStop sales.
I
PS5.
feel like I counter that. I definitely feel like people are there's a market for physical, and people will buy physical if it exists.
Me, I buy physical. I prefer physical games than
Same.
digital games. Honestly, I like holding something in my hands. This is how I think. Like, I think physical things are worth it. But because it's like comes down to like what if this digital thing is not available to me, or some shit like happened or something. It's not a physical item.
Cooking Mama.
What?
So
No,
you don't know about the Cooking Mama game where it's like it's the rarest game in the world because it was released
I did hear
unknowingly by the but unknowingly about the company, and it had malware in it. But if you got the physical copy, I think then that's the only copy you will get because it'll never released again in America.
I thought it had something to do with like cryptocurrency or something.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I thought it was that one, yes.
No, it is. So it was like crypto mining. You had to be connected to the internet to play this game, as well. So it was mining your. It also like overheated your computer. I mean your Switch. The stupid Cooking Mama thing. Yeah, it was a thing that overheat. So what it is like you had to be connected. It was stupid because it got. Nintendo fucked up on their part because they actually promoted that shit as well. It was on a Nintendo Direct. I was like, you guys are fucking idiots.
Oh yeah, we definitely got those people who
Yeah.
bought purely digital currency like, all the time.
That
They didn't
also
want
really hurt the sales. Our sales sometimes is when they fucking Fortnite kids are the worst, by the way, guys. Fucking, they're awful. They piss me off.
You have the
Roblox,
minty pickaxe.
minty pickaxe, stupid minty fucking pickaxe. Okay, I'm gonna pickaxe you in the fucking brain right now. Keep talking about fucking minty pickaxe. Yeah. Promotional shit is the annoying. It was annoying thing to deal with working at GameStop. So like free promotion shit, like so it was like the minty pickaxe where it's like a thing for Fortnite where it was like you get that free pickaxe if you go to GameStop, you get the code for it, and obviously we're sold out, and you needed to buy something to get that code. So you had a lot of kids coming in asking for the minty pickaxe. You have a lot of kids. This one's a little bit more tolerable, but there was a time where it was annoying, which is the Pokemon codes. So giving out free Pokemon codes when people ask, fine. I don't give a shit about that. But people who there was a time where they first did it. We didn't have enough of them. They did a better approach where they just give us a shit ton. But now it's just like fucking. I don't understand the whole concept of it. Just fucking download from the internet. It's so annoying, honestly. Like, I don't know why Nintendo does that. Why did they make me suffer like this?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
I think we covered most of the topics.
I think
You've,
we
uh,
did. I think we did.
Yeah. I think Nikki missed some, but that was alright.
I missed most of it because I got a fucking phone call. That was my bad.
You're good, dude.
I don't really. I guess we could talk a little bit about Reggie. I didn't really care.
Is there anything to talk about it? I thought it was really cool
I think
that
it's
he
cool.
came onto GameStop. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like he's entered the burning ship. Like, hey guys, what's going on? What the fuck? Why is everything on fire?
Wait, so Reggie works for GameStop now?
Yeah,
He's the head.
Oh, wait, this is news to me, actually?
Yeah,
Wait, this is. Oh my god.
What? No, I heard. Wait, I'm pretty sure I heard some, like, interest, but I didn't know he was. So he's currently working for GameStop. What position?
he's like one of the board leaders.
Okay, like, this man better make the decisions.
No, he's not. I mean, clearly it's not been going so well.
Honestly, yeah.
My body is ready.
My body's ready. I thought the shift between switching from pro cards was a big thing actually, because when they switched from like the % off to like the $5 a month, it was like cool and all, but like the shift wasn't all that great.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of, I think, customer base because of that too. I think.
Yeah, stupid fucking. Oh yeah, the stupid fucking like $5 coupon thing.
Code coupons, yeah, like a lot of customer base actually appreciate the percentage on pre-owned games than getting the coupons. So people who wanted the 10% off like the video games just stopped coming, like the general base customers.
I don't know why they did that. I honestly don't know why they did that.
Yeah. I definitely think discussions like these are good. It definitely puts in the mindset like experiences from previous employees and where like the company can go from here and like what they can learn from just like off previous mistakes, or they can just not learn at all and just kind of like burn.
It's yeah, go ahead. You have something to say?
Nah, I mean, I think that's just about it. Yeah, just agreeing.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, the thing is that like I don't want to say like burn the company because there are a lot of people who work there. They have to find jobs. That's jobs. People losing jobs, but like, I just wish they changed their business practice. It's not the best fucking thing. It's like morally, like granted, we're all left. So whatever the fuck they do now is not really up to us. But it's just like.
Yeah, I'm not saying I want it to burn. I'm just saying like they haven't been making any like right decisions going forward, and like it's hard to see that. So like, like progression in like positivity and other good things would be nice to see, but I don't know when that'll happen. So
I don't know. I really feel like it doesn't. It isn't gonna change. I think the only way it's gonna change is if Reggie like puts his foot down about like most decisions
He's
and
not.
practices.
He doesn't like. He's not in that position where he can like think. It's more of like for advertisement. I don't remember what his actual role is, but it's not like company.
Yeah, I think I heard that too,
It
actually.
was not like company breaking
Yeah.
type of thing where he's like gonna like rule the company type of thing. If it was
God.
like
He might work his way up. You never know. I believe Reggie is a good man, and he wants to make the good, like right decisions for the people. And he worked for Nintendo, so that's something to show for. And if not, then that's
Oh
his
yeah.
reputation. We'll see in due time, gentlemen.
yeah. I pretty much. Okay. I mean, I guess that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for hosting.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thanks for hosting, man. What a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I think right now I'm just gonna go. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna raid. I don't know who to raid though.
Oh, let me see if anyone's on.
It's actually someone I want to raid, so we'll raid this guy.
Okay, go for it.
But thank you guys for showing. I will be streaming later tonight, as well. For I don't even know what I'm playing tonight, but you guys will see. Please check out these guys. You guys know Brandon, Nikki right here. He plays League of Legends sometimes.
Thanks.
Check them out. Give them a follow.
Thanks.
I'll put that-
Twitch.tv/Brandon. I think I might be entering the Gundam tournament tonight, and maybe playing
Oh,
Pitch.
Gundam tournament. Ooh.
Oh, I messed up. The thing says Brendan check. That's why I didn't space it out.
No, you're good. Thanks, though.
You guys know Brendan's URL. But
Yeah.
check him out. Thank you guys for showing. We're gonna be rating Pro ZD. So
Next podcast question. Pro ZD.
Oh yeah, I saw that he's on.
Whoa, that's crazy.
alrighty. Well, thank you guys for showing. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Thanks for coming by, Nikki. Thanks for coming by. It's something I wanted to talk about. So,
Yeah.
peace.